In this video, we're going to talk about 5A. So if you have not done activation, your activation warm-up or the heart rate elevation, you need to go do that first. Then come back here, we'll do our little warm-up for 5A. On 5A, the warm-up, you're doing 3 rounds, 15 air squats, 10 inchworms with 1 push-up, and then a 30-second plank hold. Starting off that air squat, you just want to make sure you get a good shoulder width stance. Your heels should be about shoulder width. You're going to come down and drop that hip crease below the top of the knee for full depth and stand, making sure that your heels, knees, hips, and shoulders are in line at the top. So you're going to do 15 reps here. And then you're going to go into your inchworms with 1 push-up. So that inchworm, again, it's going to come down, palms to the ground, walk out on the hands, get a push-up, and then walk right back. And then after that, you'll do a 30-second plank hold. So this plank, you'll come out. You can hold that plank right here on the hands. Make sure you have your timer ready to go at this point. Or you can even come down to the elbows and hold that plank. You just want to make sure during the plank that you got a nice tight core, keeping as straight as you can. Don't let those hips sag and try not to let your hips go up too high. So by that, I mean, you don't want to be drooping towards the floor here, and then you don't want to be pushing the butt up into the air. Try to keep a much tighter core and your body as straight as you can. Then for your workout, you have a couple of options for RX Plus and RX here. Basically what you're doing, if you're doing RX or RX Plus, you start at a different number. So RX starts at 13 reps, RX Plus will start at 15 reps. But they all function the same way. You'll do all 3 of these movements for that many reps, then that's done, you've moved to 12. So RX, you would do 13, 13, 13, then 12, 12, 12, then 11, 11, 11, then 10, 10, 10, all the way, obviously, to 1. The RX Plus, you start at 15 and do the same thing. Alternating snatches with either a dumbbell or a kettlebell, or obviously if you needed to use a different kind of weight, you could use like, I don't know, a frozen water jug or a backpack, something like that. For the over the object lateral burpees, I'll show you that after I do the snatches here in a bit, but these 2 movements are the only ones that really have a difference for RX and RX Plus. Up here, it's a difference in weight for the snatches, so you'll see that on Wattify. Down here, it's either regular sit-ups or RX Plus is Indian sit-ups, and I'll show both of those movements. For the alternating snatches, you can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell, like I said, or you can use a different object, but basically the snatch is going to be all the way up overhead and switch on the way down. Make sure you're bringing this hand above the head, straight in line with the body. You don't want to stop out here, especially for the shoulder, but you don't want to stop out here and have an incomplete movement. So stop all the way at the top. Okay, for however many reps you have, then when you're done, then it's over the object lateral burpees. So you'll just have your object on the ground. You're going to come down, do your push-up, jump over the object. One thing that I would recommend is you want to try to put the object or your body wherever your feet are going to land whenever you shoot up from that burpee. So here, when I shoot my legs up or whenever I step up, I want my feet to be about in line so I can just jump, okay? Because you actually want to jump over the object. You don't want to be back here, come over here, and then you're just moving to the side, but really you would have knocked your object over if it was in the way. So jump over the object, not behind it or anything like that. Then you're going to go into your sit-ups. Sit-ups again, touch the hands behind the head. Then you're going to come up for full range of motion. Typically what you can do is reach far, touch the toes, touch in front of the toes, but the idea is to get the shoulders over the hips or in front. So you come forward. You don't want to stop too early, so we don't want to just hit the heels and still be leaning back and stop too early. The Indian sit-ups, you'll start standing, and then you're going to come down, roll onto the back, and then stand with no assistance from the hands. Now, of course, if you need to modify the movement, definitely modify your movement. So that means if you're doing the Indian sit-up, or you don't want to just do sit-ups, but you can't do a complete Indian sit-up, then when you roll back forward, feel free to try to hit with one hand to push off on the ground if you need to. But otherwise, we're trying not to use our hands to get that full standing motion at the end of the Indian set up for a complete range of motion there. All right, so that's it for WOD A. Definitely log your scores. And remember, on Instagram, we want to hashtag FTX Athlete, hashtag FTX Home WOD, and at FTX CrossFit. See you out there.